What's up, E-Rocks the World crew? This is Miss E-Rocka signing in. I'm here in my front yard on my swing or my happy place that sits in front of my house. The kids typically dominate it, but every now and again, I could steal a moment and go and enjoy it myself. So it's good to be here today. Happy to see you guys. Happy that you guys are continuing to support what I'm doing. Loving to see the views. Even if it's one comment, I just get so excited because I'm curious on what you guys are thinking. So thank you guys for liking, sharing, subscribing, leaving comments. Like, it's everything to me, and I really appreciate that. So today I want to talk to you about my favorite things. So I think the way I would like to set this up, my mother-in-law, lovely woman. I mean, absolutely lovely. I remember when we first got married 10 years ago, we would buy her Christmas gifts, or we would buy her birthday gifts, and she would like pass them on to somebody else. She'll give them away. And at some point she just told us, like, just don't buy me nothing. Like, we was like really trying to be creative and think about great things to give her, like things that I would probably get my mom and my mom would appreciate. But then one year we bought her a 4 foot tall Santa Claus. So let me tell you a little bit about her. She's a collector of things. Like, what she collects, she collects. So she collects black Barbie dolls. She collects black Santa Clauses, black angels. I think that's the extent of what. Oh yeah, she also collects handmade black dolls, and I think that's the extent of what she collects. And we bought her this Santa Claus, and she loved it. At first, she didn't want to accept it, but then when we were getting ready, because I had bought two, one for my mom, one for her mom, because my mom also collect black Santa Clauses and black angels. So we were gonna send them both to my mom, and right before we got ready to box it up, she was like, "You know what? I'm gonna keep that. I like it." And she was like, the best thing you could buy for a woman is something to add to her collection. And this here is a perfect gift. And so from that point forward, Christmas, birthdays, only thing I'm buying my mother-in-law is the Christmas black Barbie doll that comes out every year, or a black Santa, or a black angel. But here is my 10th year, so we've probably have bought her a Christmas Barbie every year. We also look for the Barbies that come out, the special collections, like the Rosa Parks Barbie doll we bought her, the NASA scientist Barbie doll we bought her. Any type of unique black Barbie, we're buying it. So I say all that to say, that's my advice today. As a lady, think about your collections. One way of getting to know yourself and appreciating yourself is identifying those things that you really enjoy and those things that make you happy. And you get them for yourself. Here's my neighbor. Hey, Mark. I'm good. You got that bike out. Get it right. I know. Good luck. So, and he goes. Can you see him? So, as I digress, so ladies, let's build our collections. What are those things that make you happy? What are those things you enjoy? And treat yourself to those things. I remember as a child, I don't care what it was, no matter what kind of gift, what kind of piece of clothing, what kind of item, it had to be associated with the color purple. Growing up, purple was like my ultimate favorite color. I even painted my room purple at one point. I'm wearing purple nails. It's time to get a manicure, but purple was just my color. So if my mom came in the house with anything purple, we already knew that's Erica's. Like, I remember getting mad one year. She purchased a doll for me and my sisters, and one of the dolls that was given had on a purple dress, but it was assigned to my sister, and I'm like, that's mine. And like, I put up a big fuss all Christmas Day about that purple doll, and they ended up passing it over to me. I wasn't a big doll person, but just the principle that it was purple, like, I needed it. And so fast forward to today. What do I like today? I collect several things. And like when I'm like doing splurge purchases, it's always in these three categories. It's always the same three things. So I may have mentioned it before, but I'm a beader. I make beaded jewelry. I specialize in waist beads. I make earrings. You may have seen me wear a pair of earrings or two on these vlogs. But I collect the beads to make the jewelry. So my collection started back in 2015 when I first started beading. And a neighbor of mine, back in the time we were in LA, she was an artist, and her artistry started off with beads. And so she had like a whole wall shelf full of beads. Like she had so many beads, like I can't even. It's like a store. And what she started doing was asking me to sort beads because I struggle with anxiety, and I tend to, find comfort in doing like very meticulous things. So I never thought about beads. But what she did, hold on one second, the mailman. All right, I'm back. I'm sorry, that was the mailman dropping off a package. Okay, but basically what she did is she was like, I have all of these beads. They're unorganized. I hate looking at them. Can you help me? And I was like, yes, I would love to sort your beads for you. And she gave me a big box of beads and sent them over to my house, and I started sorting them. And then I became her bead sorter. And I'll say fast forward maybe 6 months, when I decided that I needed something to do. I decided that beading would probably be something that would be very therapeutic for me. So I told her what I was thinking, and she was like, oh, I'll give you beads. So she told me to bring a box to her house. I bought a big Huggies box, a big Pamper box over there. And she literally filled it up with beads, like to the rim. And those are the beads that have started my collection. And those are the beads that all of my first pieces of jewelry were made from. And since then, I just have had an addiction to buying beads. So a part of my former job that I ended in 2020 was traveling all over the country. And on every trip I went on, I would make it a point to find a bead vendor and a cupcake shop because I like cupcakes. And that way I was able to make relationships with people who own these shops. I was able to identify the best places in America to go to get seed beads, or the best place in America to go to get precious stones, or the best place in America to get, findings for the to build the jewelry with. But that was something that I did for about 4 years, 5 years. So I have this massive bead collection. And the crazy part about it is, even though I'm not moving it, I still buy beads any chance I get. Like going to Michael's or Joann's or Hobby Lobby, that just don't get it for me. I have to go to places where there's walls of beads and vendor prices and wholesale prices. Like I get a kick out of that. Like I could easily go to a bead shop and spend $200 or $300. I've carved back on that habit obviously since we've been in COVID, but before it was a real bad problem. So I got to figure out what to do with all these beads. The second thing that I collect is art. One of the things that brought me and my husband together is art. He's an artist. He's a beautiful artist, actually. But when we met, I was actually painting because I go through my art transitions. Like, right now, the current season of creativity I'm in is creating these vlogs. I've always journaled. I sometimes go through seasons of wanting to paint and create beautiful pictures. I sometimes go through seasons of making things. Like, whatever the spirit moved me to do, I'm going to do. But with all that being said, I love art. I mean, like, love it. And I've always admired people when you go in their homes, they have like beautiful paintings everywhere, original pieces of art everywhere. I'm not a big sculpture person or a statue person because they're kind of creepy, but I love art. So I have a pretty nice collection that I've been building for the past, I'll say 10 years. And the unfortunate part about it is that I don't get a chance to look at it and enjoy it because I haven't, most of it isn't framed. Some of these frames cost more than some of the pieces of art. I do have some expensive pieces that I, invested in. Some people, up and coming artists who turned out to be very famous. I caught them when they were still like hustling. So I have a really cool art collection. And I think, in my grown up stage, one of my goals is to actually get everything framed and like presented in my house. Of course, it's so much I have to rotate it. I won't be able to put everything up at one time, including the work that all my husband has created. But I love art. Buy me a piece of art and you win my heart. And then the third and final thing that I collect, people take it for granted, but earrings. I got on some regular store bought earrings today, but my sister gave them to me, so they're special, and I really like them. But most of the time when you see me, the earrings I'm wearing were probably made by a local artisan. And the way I got into earrings, handmade earrings, is a friend of mine, Yogi Dada, Yogidada. You should look her up on social media. Her earrings are dope. Those painted earrings that you might have seen me wearing. She does like graffiti art that's rooted in Africa. They call it graphica. But she's a brilliant artist. And her earrings, I remember when I bought my first pair 10 years ago. They're called bangers. They're really big earrings with like hand painted designs on both sides of both of them. I paid $65 for them earrings. Today, you're not getting those earrings less than $1,000. And I hate the day that they broke or something, and I just kind of stopped tracking them. I hate the day I lost them. She was like, "You could have brought those back to me. I would have upgraded them for you." But here or there. But with that being said, so when I go to different festivals, different local market shops, I'm always looking for earrings. I love earrings, and I'm always have on a beautiful pair of earrings. Nothing makes me feel more pretty than wearing a cool handmade set of earrings. So those are the three things I collect. One thing that I will start collecting, that I hope to start collecting, is jewelry. Is it? Oh, gotta go and check on the kitchen. I'll be back.